immediately take 2 AD carries. That is not a common one by any means.
Well, it's an interesting one anyway.
All right.
Nonetheless, there's an Italy ban right away.
Probably with this singed first ban. We know Looper's quite good. We saw him play it at Worlds. They're trying to force a Shen ban, probably out of Ozone right now, because that's the typical counter pick to that Shen, is that you dirty farm against it with
Shyvana ban.
What?
Apparently Looper has a pocket Shyvana. Top lane Shyvana's been making waves.
Yeah, it is quite strong, especially if you want to play that Caitlyn. But
yeah.
Now the Grog is going down as well for Dade. That's a bit of a surprise considering how lackluster Dade's Gragas was at the World Championship. A lot of very interesting bans. Now Shen is open, but they're going to go ahead and take that Zed, which was left up. Looper should take Shen in response. So this was calculated. They're not, basically in this situation, they knew that either it was a first pick Zed or you give it to Dade. And so they're planning to counterpick with this Shen just to make sure that Shen can ult the death mark target. They may take Lulu here as well.
Yeah. Will we see the Jarvan locked in for Spirit?
And we don't know if this Ezreal is going mid or AD yet. In fact, Ozone may not even know. They are just keeping their options open right here as we go. And of course, Dade is an excellent mid Ezreal player. Corki, it's over into Pawn's hands.
Yeah, and that will be that Jarvan then. Oh, and Kog'Maw, so we may be dealing with double AD again. There is a possibility, I suppose, of an AP mid Kog'Maw, but maybe I'm just dreaming.
I wish we could return to those days.
You never know. I feel like we'll see it again eventually.
Gank by Mom, we know, is a great AP Kog'Maw player. We just haven't seen it yet.
He's out there.
We haven't seen it yet professionally. We know of the rumors of his AP Cog prowess from solo queue.
Chances of us seeing it are so minimal. First, we have like a 1 in 3 chance that we even see Gank by Mom on CJ Frost play, and then to get the Kog'Maw on top of that, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if we'll ever see it. But I think it's a pretty good chance we're going to see the Vi and Thresh Samsung Ozone.
And of course, that Vi Shen combo, if you pick Vi here, you get 2 possible targets to ult. You either ult the person who's been death marked, or you ult onto the Vi who's coming in for assault and battery and get that immediate ticket onto taunting a carry, which can be very, very powerful.
Yeah. And there it is. There's the lock into the final 2 picks now for Samsung Blue.
And they may be giving Chunchu that Rumble. He
was a big-time Rumble player.
Yeah, he is. He had a reputation as being the best Rumble player in Korea, and it's going to be locked in for him, so we get to see that one more time.
And Zyra, I mean, that equalizer layered with the Zyra ultimate is hugely strong in team fights.
Yeah, this is a huge 5v5 composition that we're seeing here. A lot of early game Dragon potential coming out of Samsung Blue's composition right here.
Yep.
And it's similar to a composition, you know, that Rumble Zed combo was used very effectively by Royal Club at the World Championship against OMG.
Yep. And there's a Caitlyn lock-in, so it will be a mid Ezreal then.
Yeah, no surprise. And they weren't going to play a scaling AD carry like Kog'Maw with this Ezreal. More than likely, you really want that early pressure. So Ozone going back to that double AD composition, it has been a staple of theirs for quite some time. They've got great engage here, great pick potential, great dive potential, and great siege. Samsung Blue not doing so well in the ability to stop that siege, so they have to survive and make sure their early turrets don't go down by about the 20-minute mark, or otherwise they're going to be in trouble.
Yeah. Well, there's our final rosters. Looper on Shen, Dandy on Vi, Dade and Ezreal, Imp on Caitlyn, Mata on Thresh for Samsung Ozone, and on Blue, Rumble, Jarvan, Zed, Corki, and Zyra for the lineup. And we'll see if Blue can tie this thing up. We'll see if they can force it to a game 3. Again, this is single elimination too, so if you're out, you're not having any chance to get that trip to China to compete in the WCG Global Finals next month. Kunshan. And here we go, Ozone on the road to redemption. Let's get in the game. right, guys, here we go. Samsung Blue versus Samsung Ozone. Welcome to Summoner's Rift. Welcome back to OGN. We've missed you guys. We miss the OGN Legion.
Yes, we miss the OGN Legion so much.
Oh, yeah.
And
I laid awake at night wondering what you guys were up to. Not in a creepy way, but just like what my friends out on the internet are up to.
Well, Spirit's starting with a Doran's Blade here. That is an uncommon start for a Jarvan. Have to see what he plans to do with it being aggressive early. Now, this is a bit interesting, though, because Samsung Blue is a composition that is very focused around taking dragons. And Samsung Ozone is a composition that's very focused on split pushing and taking turrets. And we always talk about Rumble and the early dragons he presents, because he can basically lose lane as hard as he wants to and not get any items, but that equalizer will still cause you to do horrible things to the enemy team in any kind of 8 to 15 minute dragon fights that manage to erupt.
Well, we saw Sword, I believe it was, were kind of the originators of the level 6 big dragon rumble fight.
Expression and Mock Moon, really.
Yep.
The kings of Rumble in that way, and it has spread out to many other regions from there.
Oh, yeah.
And Samsung Ozone, if they can start knocking down towers, though, they should just, honestly, Samsung Ozone, if they play their composition out, they should just ignore Dragon. And in some ways, it's actually better for them if Blue starts to group up and try and take it, because then you can gather them all at one point on the map.
Yeah, good free turrets. And Looper going to be walking into this blue. You see him, takes a couple of hits, so that blue buff will be taken by Spirits. They do successfully grab that from MVP Ozone.
He did use his smite, however, in order to take that, and he's not going to have the best sustain on Jarvan with a Doran's Blade start compared to the 5 pots, so he's going to take a little bit of extra damage here at this red, and that might affect his jungling just a little bit. We'll have to wait and see. Dandy going ahead with the blue seal of his own right here. He'll be more topped up, though, in order to make a play right afterwards.
Yep. And now we've got this mid lane between Pond and Dade, and it's a pretty good matchup for both sides. Ezreal's going to be able to dodge a lot of stuff that Zed's going to bring in.
Yeah, Chunju already recalling right there.
Wow.
In order to head back, top up a little bit, and get another potion or two while they were piling the wave up in that top lane. Now, Spirit coming in behind him.
Yeah, it's gonna be a tough lane, but they should be able to handle this 2v2 with the junglers for a little while. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Oh, the grab on the Chengdu, yeah, more damage. There it is, already a big chunk taken out of him. Fine Mata and Imp.
Yeah, I'd love to see the HP of this turret. So both turrets at approximately the same HP, that is to say, not much taken out so far.
Now, Looper's gonna have a little bit of a hard time because
Looper just, he misplayed that pretty hard, actually. I mean, he just took a ton of harassment, phosphorus bombs, and the Zyra Q right there.
Yeah.
Having a bit of trouble early, going to be burning through those potions pretty quickly, and not able really to do anything to stop his turret from going down. And this is actually a disaster for Ozone if that tower goes down first, because they need to use that Caitlyn Thresh advantage, that huge zone, the ranged attacks, the huge range are able to put the damage down on the turrets.
Yeah, Sense playing a very aggressive Zyra as well in that bot lane, taking Ignite, probably taking aggressive runes and masteries as well. Becoming more and more popular, and I really love it. For a long time, the support role was kind of pigeonholed into buying the same items, playing relatively the same way, that disengaged support, and now we're seeing finally this rise of like these aggressive supports. And Zyra's always been around, but I feel like we're seeing her played more aggressively now than we used to.
Yeah,
that
we
Q
definitely
start rather
are.
than the E start.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun to see what support players can do, and they're feeling more comfortable about how they can harass in lanes these days, and they have some more powerful champions in which to do that. So,
Love to see support, man.
Dynamic.
Oh, Dade. Something dynamic happening in that mid lane, but he will get away. Didn't need to use his flash or barrier or anything like that. He's okay.
Looper continues to take harass right there, but he does have a ton of starting HP, as we can see.
Oh, yeah.
And Deft and Sen's happy to just pile the wave for the moment. Love to see what's going on up at that top lane. Pawn doing a little bit of roaming right now. Imp and Mata finally hitting the turret with that wave, able to take a couple chunks out of it. Dandy.
Oh, Pawn going in on Dandy, doing a lot of damage to him. Ezreal coming up right now. Dade. They don't need to. Pawn breaks off when he should.
Yeah, Imp and Mata headed down there in order to save Dandy, though, and that did lose them a little bit of pressure on that turret as Chunju able to clear it out just a tad. But these little things can mean a lot in a game where you're trying to get that turret down and rotate as fast as possible.
Totally. Oh, Spirit coming in behind Imp and Mata. There's a knock-up onto Imp. Imp trying to get away. The Flay knocks Chunju away. Imp trying to escape. Stutter stepping back. Looks like he will make it. They're going on to Mata now. Oh, the death sentence just barely misses Spirit, and looks like no kills in that top lane. A close call for Imp.
That was actually a really good trap placement by Imp right there, because he forced Spirit to break off just a little bit in order to not take any damage, and that may have just saved his life right there. Of course, we do see Dandy coming in from behind. They're looking at 2v2. Nope. Looper at 50% HP. Doesn't flash for
Dandy
that.
gets caught. So dangerous to walk around that little corner when there's a Zyra in lane. You're going to get poked so hard, and that's exactly what we saw happen to Dandy.
Lupa probably should have flashed for that one in order to at least get some more damage down and free up the turret again, because it is just so important that Ozone wins this turret battle.
Yeah.
That glowing flash right there wouldn't have been the end of the world as long as they could relieve pressure, but that'll be blue as Deft takes down the first turret.
Yep, they get it.
Now the question is, are they going to rotate? Because Chunju is going to hit 6 pretty soon here, and when he does, if they're down there, they should be able to take a relatively easy dragon, but nope. Going to go ahead and back off, even though the pings for dragon are going down from both sides. Chunju has just hit 6.
This is a big opportunity.
No, they're going to make a
to
play
grab
for
the
dragon right now. Yeah, Blue's going for it right now. They're sending 5 men out. Exactly what we thought they would do. 8 minutes. It's time for a Rumble Dragon, though.
That's right. Rumble Dragon. That's the name of my punk band in high school.
Rumble Dragon?
Rumble Dragon. That's right. Not the name of our band now, Hate Spike, but
Hate Spike is...
That's our band.
It's going places.
Oh, yeah? Just went to LA and back. Nobody knows about all those secret shows that were played. And it will be a fairly easy dragon for Samsung Blue. And, oh, Sen's a little bit trapped there. Dandy trying to get away. There's the equalizer. Can they follow this up, though? Pawn coming over the wall. Deft, lots of flashes having to be used on the Ozone side of things.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, Doa. Ozone really just needs to keep pressure on the lanes and not contest these dragons, because you're not going to get them. And when they don't, contest them, and then they just kind of diddle around outside and get hit by a Rumble ultimate, then they have to blow all their flashes because of that long-range engage.
Yep. Looper trying to do his best to do damage to the turret. He's got a nice minion wave with it, but Chunju's about to get back into lane, so I don't think that turret's in a lot of trouble just yet.
Honestly, in that case, Ozone probably should have just tried to rush the mid lane turret, and they probably wouldn't have killed it, but they at least could have gotten some damage down on it while the dragon was going on.
Yeah. Now, if you're ignoring dragon, you want to try to take those turrets.
You just need to be much more committed in your play calls, and considering that Ozone knew exactly what was going to happen right there, and that they weren't going in because they knew they couldn't stop it, and then to stick around long enough to get hit by the equalizer anyway, and then have to use so many summoner spells.
Yeah. I believe it was
2 flashes.
2 flashes? Yeah, that's right. Not good. And so, I mean, just like we were talking about before the game, I mean, I feel like this is a match that we could definitely see a game 3.
Yeah, and Blue is playing out their composition much better so far. They knew what they had to do. They managed to outpush their opponents in an unlikely scenario, and then they took a dragon off of that as well, very intelligently rotating Rumble and shoving the lane before that, so that even though Looper was up there, he still couldn't take the turret. It's really all coming up in Blue's favor so far.
Blue's definitely going to be one of the teams to watch here in the upcoming Champion Season 2 as well, if they end up in that. It doesn't start for a while, but Be pretty good. Def nearly getting caught by that death sentence there.
You say not a while, but it is starting in November. So
it's only a month, yeah. I mean, it's sooner than you think, but a lot can happen in a month in esports, for sure.
Yeah, Blue just look at how far they're pushed up. This is absolute hell if you're running a double AD composition. To be pushed in all of your lanes like this, it takes away all of your power. Double AD compositions, as we saw from Blue, don't really work on the back foot. They only work if they're actively sieging. And Blue has just managed to keep them uncomfortable this entire game, and now they're taking over the vision control of the jungle too. They'll be able to watch those rotations and just continue to put on that pressure.
Yeah. Looper just doing his best to farm here and be ready for those team fights. There's a two-shot barrage, gonna clear out some minions. Try to just keep that wave off of the mid turret for now.
Yeah, it's not going to be too effective though.
Pretty different game from last time though. Probably had like 10 kills at least at this point, and no kills at near 11.5 minutes already in this game. 11.5 minions into the game. We're counting time as minions now.
I find it very interesting that both Samsung teams still use double AD compositions, because while it was extremely popular a couple of months ago, it has fallen out of style a little bit. And these teams seem to be the ones that are still carrying the torch of double AD.
Sometimes you just gotta pick the style and make it work, you know? And so far, I mean, it hasn't been bad for them overall. Ozone at Worlds aside.
I feel like that's the big asterisk on Ozone's career.
Yeah, no kidding. What a bizarre event for them. That was just strange. And I mean, that's not to discredit the great games that the other teams in their groups have, but those of us who've been watching Ozone for a long time, you know, we were just expecting a lot more.
Yeah, we certainly were. And Blue again.
Oh, nice.
I mean, at this point, Dade is just farming that bot lane. Ozone needs to make a play, because all they're doing is playing reactionary to what Blue is basically trying to force on them right now.
Yeah.
And they're kind of playing all right into the hands. If Ozone wants to deal with this, they need to 4-1 split push. They need to get a lot more people together in order to create turret pressure, because right now just repeatedly farming out that bot lane is not really doing them any favors.
Yeah.
Because it's not alleviating the pressure map wide. Here we go. They may be actually able to do something with this.
Oh. If they could have caught sense, yeah, possibly. Some damage put onto Dade as well, forcing that arcane shift. Now, okay, there's the Blue. Can they contest this? Can't get it. Dade needs to get out of there in a hurry, and he does.
No, all they're doing right now is setting up for the next dragon, because they're going to take this one too. Look at that rotation coming down from Chunju. He's keeping the lane pressed while really simultaneously setting up for that dragon. They'll go ahead and lose the top turret.
Oh, the flash play. They're going to bring in Chunju. There we go. The knockup on the Mana after the box of Cataclysm. Traps Imp. Imp is going to net out of it. And back up. Good positioning for Caitlyn. Can he get away? No, the flash just a little bit too low, despite being in the back of the fight. Dandy goes down. There's a double kill for Deft. And a 2-for-1 in favor of Blue, and they may be able to get another one here. Looper in a little bit of trouble. There's the taunt coming in. Deft has gone in a bit too far. So it ends up being 2-for-2. Deft was over pursuing.
Yeah, that was a little bit sloppy by Deft right there.
Yeah.
Obviously trying to make the plays inside the turret, but Looper still with about 50% HP, able to easily taunt him and pick up a kill right there for his team.
I'm really surprised Deft went that far in.
Yeah, it was bad. Very bad. And that'll also make sure that Blue can't capitalize on this dragon. They sent Chunju back up to that top lane in order to save the turret, which is undoubtedly getting quite low up there, but now they don't have that equalizer. Now they give up that dragon pressure. A little bit of a reversal right here.
Yeah, not a lot that Blue can do about this dragon.
And the question is, can they get that top turret? And these are the kind of trades that we anticipated Ozone making, not Blue.
Yeah. Well, suddenly, we've got a very even game again.
Yeah, not able to quite finish up that turret right there. One more wave will do the trick right there. He knows everyone is down on the southern half of the map, so no need to be particularly worried. And the cannon minion, make sure this turret goes down. And that'll be a turret for Dragon trade for blue. Pretty strange twist.
Yeah. That mid lane turret, though, has just been a thorn in the side of blue all game long. They still haven't gotten it down. Still got a lot of health, actually.
Well, what they really need to do is just wait this game out. The longer this goes, the better off they're going to feel against the double AD. They can just itemize armor. You can see Chunju already has the Seeker's Arm Guard in there. He can go for that fast Zonias if he needs to.
Yeah.
It's probably, we'll see if he actually completes it or if he just goes to the Rylai's after this, but.
We'll see. Saw Def getting a little bit annoying as well, stopping that recall from Imp, and they're trying to get this turret. No more minions. I think they're going to stick it out, though. Yeah, they've got it. No problem. So there it is. All three first-tier turrets down in favor of Samsung Blue.
This is a disaster for Double AD because the other problem that Double AD has is if we look at this team right now, yes, they have Shen, but if he has his port down and the Double AD gets flanked, or even if they get flanked while his port is up, you have to burn the Shen ult in order to save one of your carries in the back line, and then you just have virtually no engage.
Yeah. Well, they'll respond with that mid lane turret. Back off, so Ozone does get one of their own at least. They did get that dragon too. It's just all about that positional advantage that blue is going to have right now. The wards are going to get deeper over time. The map control is going to get greater. Ozone really needs to have like a very successful next like 3 to 4 minutes in this game.
Yeah, they absolutely do. And interesting, Pawn actually finished his last Whisper before completing Blade of the Ruined King. So we'll have to see what he does with that. It seems to me that he's probably just going to be using more shurikens for poke in that case instead of playing all and duel someone. So just trying to whittle down the opposition, which actually isn't too bad of an idea because you're mostly going to be poking these squishy 80 carry targets because Looper is going to be off split pushing by himself.
Yeah.
So if you can get them low enough, if you can continually chunk them, they actually will not be able to do anything in terms of pushing forward. It's a very interesting choice.
Yeah. Kind of cool. And there's a bit of a fight in the top lane. Mata, there's a box. Chunju with the equalizer as well, going 1v2. Dandy coming in. Two-shot barrage and Piltover Peacemaker over the top. Ace in the hole. Chunju in trouble. Oh, he fails his flash. And that is going to be a kill for Dandy.
They also force the Stand United out without much effect right there. In the meantime, we do see Pawn taking some pot shots at the bottom turret, and ultimately, even though Chunju died right there, the amount of map pressure that was created by that situation by Blue is probably still worth it for them.
Seems that way.
Yeah, they're going to get the blue buff as well. Sets manages to grab that one.
Yep.
But yes, they got a kill, sure, Ozone got a kill, but they really overcommitted for it in that they're still finding themselves trying to react to this inexorable lane pressure.
Right.
And it's especially surprising because we see Imp going for that standard fast push Caitlyn build. If you want to push the lane quickly, you get that Bloodthirster and follow it up with Static Shiv. It allows you to stay topped up in lane and have some better wave clear so you can just put more and more pressure on the turrets.
Oh. Nearly got onto Dade there. Eddie's two-shot barrage through that lane. Big push coming in from blue right now. And Dandy actually having to go back. He's so low on health. They've got a wave on their side now, but
look at what Samsung Blue is doing, though. I mean, they just back off, then they just continue to shove the lane over and over and over again. They can see the rotations coming through. They've got the vision control. They know when they're safe. They draw people over. They just retreat for a little bit, and then they'll take out the next minion wave. And they're whittling down the inner ring of turrets down one by one.
yeah.
And Ozone not really able to do anything about it. And again, the later this game goes, the better off we're going to see Samsung Blue, just because they have a much more diversified portfolio of damage, we'll call it.
Well, it's good to be diversified. You don't want all your equalizers in one basket.
No, you don't.
You want them in a line so they can have the biggest effect. About a minute, no, about 30 seconds now until that next dragon. So we start to see the team starting to rotate down. Chunju still way up in the top lane, though.
Well, they're just clearing so well right now. I mean, they've got the pink ward advantage. They have the Oracle on to sets at the moment.
Which is really good, too. I mean, to be able to have that pressure and have that vision advantage, it's worth quite a bit. And there's the death mark coming in onto Mata. Stand United immediately. Ace in the hole comes in to help take down Pawn. Pawn very low. Oh, manages to turn and get Dandy. Equalizer, though, all over MVP Ozone. Chunju entering the fight now. Dade very low. Looper getting taken on. A double kill for Chunju already. A double kill for Pawn after nearly dying. What a turnaround from Blue. That was the fight they were looking for.
Well, Pawn right there, they kind of used him as bait a little bit because they wanted to force that Stand United out.
He was their pawn.
He was their pawn. And that last Whisper before the Blade of the Ruin King's doing very interesting things for his burst right there. So you can see him go kind of all in right there. And then look, the real hero here is the equalizer that's coming from Chunju. You see him running over. So Looper gets off, and a great Zyra ult as well, clearing out that chunk. But look at this. He prevents 3 members from getting into that fight, kills one immediately, forces Looper just to stand on it for virtually the full duration, and then Pawn coming in from the side with a quick combo to take down Imp. They get the dragon off of that as well, and now a huge lead.
Very big lead. Yeah, I mean, really that last Whisper helps you kind of capitalize on the damage during Deathmark from all those Qs you're going to be putting out. Ideally, you can hit him with the triple Q after you do that. That'll help quite a bit.
Yeah, now he's got the Blade of the Ruin King as well, so
yeah.
He's got an ability to chase targets at the moment as well. It gives him that additional little bit of survivability. And that Sonya's coming down on Chunju against double AD. That is going to hurt.
Wow. And another push up the mid lane coming from Blue. Just clearing out more wards, Sense with that Oracles and some pink wards. Gonna get that. They don't spot Dandy in that Wraith pit. Or Wraith alcove, I guess. Wraith Nook, maybe?
Wraith Nook.
Oh.
Wraith Den.
Wraith Den. Wraith Hutch. I don't know. I guess that's the little thing you put books in or something, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't think it's a Wraith Hutch. I'm
Okay.
sorry, I hate to burst your bubble.
Maybe they like to read it out. Wraith Nook, I think, is the best name for it. It sounds cozy, you know? I mean, they've got a little campfire in there. It's cozy.
Quite cozy.
It's a cozy little Wraith Nook.
Busy making s'mores.
That's right. Until someone comes to kill them. All right, well, a lot of siege. That turret very low already. Dada and Pawn fighting it out in the mid lane. Pawn coming out ahead in that one, and that turret is a goner. Goodbye. Hardly top lane tier 2 turret.
Well, this has been a strange game, Noah.
Yeah, it really has.
Just because of the compositions that come out and the fact that Ozone seems so unprepared for this.
Oh, Dade. There we go. And, oh, there's the ult now. Finally, there's the Shen ult coming in. Can they handle it? Dandy coming over the top. Yeah, it looks like Dade will live, and now Pawn on the run. You can tell Ace in the hole coming down. And can they get the kill? They can. Looper picks that one up. You could see Pawn hesitate before he went in with that ult. He was like, I don't know. And probably should have waited, not respecting that Stand United.
Well, also the fact that his team was not anywhere either around or pressing at an objective at that point as well. So drawing Looper over there had basically no effect. Besides the fact that the death timer is going to be much shorter than the Stand United cooldown timer, so I guess you could maybe count that as an advantage.
Sort of make a case for that, I guess.
It's not much of one.
No. Goodbye, Ward. Sense hates wards, except for if they're his. Then he loves them. But
he only likes the blue wards.
That's right. And that's the struggle for Mata now, is maintaining that vision. But it's so hard when you're pressed for cash already, so you're not going to have as many wards. And then he's got Oracles now, but it's tough to afford it. You're not going to have it as often as your opponent will.
Yeah, Samsung Blue just thought better of that as they saw Shen pass, thought maybe we don't want to be lined up 4 in a brush in case he taunts us.
Yeah, totally.
Coming from behind, though, they're going to have
wow.
a good flank onto the back of the double AD.
Yes, they will. And Pawn coming in the back lines, trying to get onto Dade. Did get that death mark, and Imp getting evaporated by Corky. And now everybody comes in, deft over the top into that Cataclysm. Double kill for him. Mata, the last man standing, but not for long. Another double kill for Chunju. Imp kind of in shock. The triple kill. It's a full house of kills between Deft and Chunju in that team fight.
And this is why it is so dangerous to lose that outer ring of turrets first if you're running a double AD composition, because the flank is so devastating on you. You could really see how Blue just got behind them right there and then immediately melted both Imp and Dade, and then there's no more damage. There's absolutely nothing. So easy cleanup from that point forward. Great engage from Blue.
And Pawn had to give his life to do it, but pretty worth it in that case. And let's take a look at that fight again.
Just such a good Rumble ultimate as well. Splitting everybody up right there allows them to pick everyone off just one by one. Spirit with another good ultimate. I mean, all the ults so good. The Zyra ult tying people up in the back lines, but it didn't really matter after Dade and Imp had gone down right there. But
it really neutralized Mata. I mean, his box was nearly ineffective in that fight. Had to back out of the equalizer and then couldn't get a good position for it.
All right, well, they're trying to set up pick right now. He still doesn't see that pink ward. Finally manages to catch that one out, but it did see Mata attempting to make a little bit of a play right there.
It didn't even Mata.
It didn't even Mata at all.
Well, Ozone gonna have a lot of luck at this point. It's gonna be tough. And I mean, the thing is Imp as well. You know, he's on Caitlyn, but he's not exactly going to have a very high damage build anytime soon. Between Bloodthirst and Static Shift, there's we go, another equalizer coming down. The Zonias, they're trying to get him away. Sense in there as well. Chunju, a little bit out of position. There's a Zyra ultimate, getting a couple with the knockup, and now Deft comes in to put on that Trinity Force damage. Double kill again for him already. Looper coming into the back lines. A messy fight, but in the end, it's still a success story for Samsung Blue. A lot of low members, a lot of low health members on Blue, but they're going to be okay.
And I want to point out right there that Sense actually saved Chunju big time because he managed to use a knockup to cancel Ace in the Hole coming out of Imp. Really impressive play right there in order to save his teammate. And Chunju just magically making it out of that one with some very nice use of Scrap Shield. And Zonia's looked like he had been caught a little bit out right there, but
well, I think it
not
just shows,
at all.
It just shows what a big lead Blue has right now. Is that they can even have a fight go like that and still come out of it flawlessly. It's going to be another dragon as well for Blue, extending that gold lead to 13,000 at this point.
Yeah, they need to start looking to close right here. Chunju just going to stand there and get kicked by a golem for a little bit while he waits forever for his teammate to come.
It's like a recreation of Pacific Rim in League of Legends.
He's waiting for Pawn.
He's in his Jaeger. That's like, it's only like a level 2 kaiju though.
What a good teammate he is though.
Oh, he misses the Q.
My.
Oh, that's
that was the
embarrassing.
perfect end to that.
We saw that, Pawn. Not gonna let you get away with that one. Whoops. There, the neural handshake was a bit off in that one. All right.
Dandy maybe playing with fire a little bit right here. Sense doing a good job of checking brushes. Dandy gets found out by Chunju.
Yeah. Oh, they're gonna go for this Baron. Blue on the attack. Chunju zoning out. Dandy up in that top lane, and there we go. Wow, he's just gonna 1v1 him. No trouble at all taking that Baron down. Oh, hey, what do you know?
Day late to dollar short. Now Chunju doesn't have that equalizer anymore. Of course, a relatively short cooldown, but still will make it slightly harder to siege turrets. But they've
Baron
really
might make up for that.
They've really just Blue has done nearly everything right in order to deal with the double AD composition. You can tell they're very used to Ozone playing this, of course. As a staple of theirs.
And Cataclysm down onto Mata. Mata has to flash out. There we go. Everybody jumping in. Deft on the outside again. Good positioning. There's the Zonias to keep Chunju alive. Imp getting hit by the rockets in the back line. Valkyrie ahead from Deft to finish off that kill. Dade just inconsequential. Arcane shifts into the fountain to do more damage. Dandy trying to keep people away from turrets. Does manage to get back to the fountain. Dade finally gets that kill onto Chunju. Spirit backing off a bit, but Def just continuing to pile on that damage. Dandy coming back in with full health. Dade's there as well, but it just doesn't matter. It's too much of a lead for Blue, and we're gonna go to game 3, a double kill yet again for Dade. The Nexus goes down in a great game from Samsung Blue.